Welcome to Help Desk with Joe. This is show number 96 as we close in on that century mark. I'm so excited for that because Joe promised us free goodies and all kinds of cool stuff on 100 show.
Yep.
So I'm super excited about that.
Me too.
So yeah, Help Desk with Joe, 96, 4 shows away. Well, really 3 shows away. So Joe, tell us about these awesome goodies you're going to bring.
Well, if I tell you now, it ruins the surprise.
So that's code for there are no goodies.
How about this way? It might be the same thing you got on episode 50, but maybe just a different color.
All right, anyway, thanks for joining us here. We're at the Patch Turned Up Studio in Spencer, West Virginia. And with us, as always, Justin and Joe.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. So, yeah, we're here. We're ready to roll. And as always, you got a pretty good show coming up, talking about all kinds of good stuff. I'm excited about this one. These are all new players, I think, in our show, or at least for a little while.
Yeah, ones we haven't covered for a little bit.
Because we've always have Apple for about the last 3 months with their exploits, which seem to be a staple. And I'm sure we'll bring up Wise in this show. But
Yeah, I don't know if we've talked about the first one ever on the show, have we? Maybe briefly.
Maybe when they first announced
Initially?
but
Okay.
it's been kind of hush-hush since.
Well, let's get rolling and tell us about Starlink, Joe, because
Okay.
I know very little about Starlink.
Okay, so Starlink is the internet that Elon Musk was he was spearheading his project to bring satellite internet to the masses.
And I've actually seen this go through once through West Virginia, through Roane County.
Really?
Yeah, the internet train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it one night and it scared me to death. Because at first I didn't realize what I was seeing,
Right.
and I had to come in the next day and ask Zach.
Okay.
Because I just saw it looked like planes, you
Right.
know, in formation,
Right.
in a line, a straight line, evenly spaced. I was like, man, we're sending planes somewhere, and I counted up to like 25, and I was like, holy cow! And there were more coming,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is unreal. So I didn't know what I was seeing. I came in and talked to Zach, and he's like, oh yeah, that's the internet deal, Starlink.
Taken off.
Coincidence number 2. Went to Florida for soccer. Ended up going over to Kennedy Space Center for a day and just happened to luck into a launch that was delayed the week before. And it was 40-some satellites for the Starlink train getting sent up into space. And then they had a solar flare that caused like 45 of them to fall out of the sky.
Well, that explains.
Bummer.
That explains today's story.
Okay, all right, good. So anyway, those are my 2 experiences with Starlink. But other than that, I know nothing about them.
Okay.
So proceed.
Okay. So when Elon Musk first announced it, he announced what the prices of everything's going to be, that you've got to buy the equipment, how much your monthly fee was going to be, and it's supposed to be unlimited, high speed. I mean, it was going to be for rural West Virginia. It would be top notch. It was to be a perfect example of great internet. But here we go.
Here we go.
There's a but.
Yes. So Starlink is not fully, released to the masses. They're still, as you said, launching satellites.
Yeah.
And they're already raising their prices.
Oh no.
Yes.
Hold on. Does it actually work in West Virginia?
Supposedly it's starting to, because I talked to a person last week that they said that the satellite dishes should be coming soon.
Do you know how it works? Like, here's what I don't understand. I saw the satellite train go by once, and this is like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since. So where does it go? How does it cover you with internet? Does that make sense? Like, do you have to be in direct line of sight, or?
Well, supposedly they're going to launch so many that you can't go anywhere in the world without having connectivity. That's the plan, because it's like a lower orbit satellite.
Right. But I mean, like GPS satellites, they circle, but they don't.
Right.
They kind of stay in the same place, if that makes sense.
Right.
So that they can triangulate. There's always like GPS. I know this from Zach's geocaching class and stuff. Your GPS hand holder picks up like 6 satellites.
Yeah.
At any given time, and it triangulates. That's
Right.
how it figures out where you are. But those satellites have to be within kind of like line of sight, so to speak.
Right.
Because otherwise, like if you go deep into a hollow, you can't get 6 to do what you need it to do.
Right.
And therefore it won't work. So how does this give you reliable internet in that same manner. Is I guess my point. Unless there's always some visual somehow.
I don't know.
Daggone it, Joe. Come on, you're my technology go-to guy.
Well, see, I didn't even know that was a thing. I just
Yeah, I don't know either. You know, but I mean, like
Right,
they're
yeah.
traveling across the sky in a train like that. Once they
Right.
disappear, they're out of sight. Do they still work?
yeah, because
Because don't they like go around the other side of the earth or something? And again, I know nothing
No,
about how this stuff works. I'm just trying to figure it out. And
no, it's supposed to be low orbit, but high enough where you don't see them. So you might be seeing them actually take off, but not.
maybe it wasn't where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe,
Interesting.
Maybe a UFO.
No, there's too many. It might have been planes after all, but Zach told me it was the satellite train that you see him every once in a while that he saw them too. Because it's they're in order, they're in a line.
Yeah.
But you're right. Maybe it was just when they first deployed them or something, and then they go do something else.
Might be.
All right. Anyway, sorry. Go on with your end of this story
Okay, so
as I continue to make up stuff.
So as inflation's hit everything, Starlink has fallen victim with everybody else. So while many Americans who have experienced the roller coaster of capitalism before some of the familiarity with cost instability around staples like food and gas inflation, SpaceX claims it is also behind some upcoming changes to its satellite internet provider Starlink. And an email sent to Engadget says, quote, due to excessive levels of inflation, the price of Starlink kits are increasing from $499 to $549 for deposit holders and $599 for all new orders effective yesterday, end quote. And then they follow up saying, quote, in addition, the Starlink monthly service price will increase from $99 to $110. The new price will apply to your subscription on April 22nd of this year, end quote. So the email also reminds customers that within the first year they can cancel and receive a partial refund of $200 or a full refund if their equipment was received within the last 30 days. And several other customers have posted identical emails to Twitter verifying that claim. So basically, if you have Starlink service, the price is going to go up. If you're looking at getting a Starlink service, get ready to pay more than what was initially announced. So they say inflation, which I would buy it partially into that, but when you said, they launched 40 and half of them wound up in the ocean.
Oh, not almost all, but like 4.
Yeah, that probably can't help things.
They
either.
burn up on reentry. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's awesome to see a launch happen.
Right.
And then a couple days later, they're like, yep, those are coming down. They had a sunflare. I was like, man, is that craziness? Because, you're sitting there saying that's a ton of money that just got thrown away.
Literally.
So I'm looking at the Starlink map, and it's kind of crazy. So, like, West Virginia doesn't really have any coverage. Or maybe it does. They're moving, so I don't know. Like, it shows one satellite. You ever seen the satellite map.space?
I'm on. I just logged on there now.
I was waiting to see like which direction this jobby's going.
Right.
Looks like it's heading out of state.
Well, it looks like Starlink 1183 is going through the lower part of the state, and then we have Starlink 2220 going across the eastern panhandle as we speak.
Yeah, that's the two I'm looking at. So, pretty neat little deal. They got a ton of them up there, that's for sure. They're covering a lot of the ocean. Why they have them out in the ocean, Joe? All right, so like right now, mine's not showing any over West Virginia.
Yeah, mine either.
There's a bunch up in Canada. They've got a ton of these out there. So anyway, I don't know how it works. I'm not that smart, and I don't know enough about it. But it just seems mind-boggling to me is how they do the coverage when the satellites are moving. Unless
Right.
you had so many that it's like a blanket coverage. But wouldn't that get in the way of other stuff?
You would think.
I don't know. So they launch around 45 to 50 at a time.
Yeah, there's a story from September 2021. At that point, there were 1,600 Starlink satellites in orbit, but it said it'll continue to grow, the number.
See now, Joe, if you look You still on the map?
Yes.
If you look on the ocean just off the kind of like center tip of South America,
Mm-hmm.
there's a train of them. There's a line. So I don't know if you're looking at the map. Look, can I
Okay.
share my map over to there?
But yeah, I'm okay. So on
How
the
do I
tip
do
of
that?
South America. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see 2 trains. Yeah. Yeah. I see 2 trains of them.
How do I share over to there?
Just
There we go.
yeah. And actually, there's one on the other coast of South America as well. There's 3 trains there. 4 out all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, there's like 20 in a row.
Right there, yeah.
That's
See
crazy.
that?
Yeah.
So I know you guys at home can't see this, but yeah, there's a bunch in a row. So that's what I saw that night, according to Zach,
Mm-hmm.
and what he saw. And then I guess they go to where they're going, and then they split up.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. Okay, so we can actually see your screen, Joe. You
Oh,
can see it.
man.
So there's a place you can go. What's that address, Justin?
Satellite-map.space.
Okay, satellite.
Okay,
map.
so
Where you at on that one, Justin? Come on.
I'm over in Russia,
Mhm.
and man, they're not lying. When they said that they was gonna move a bunch of them out of Russia, there's like 5, and then a bunch of them around the border. But like in Russia itself, there's only like 5 little dots.
Is that Russia? I don't know where I'm at.
In the ocean.
I'm on the globe. Oh, that's the ocean. You're right. So that's Russia. Man, yeah, you can tell the line.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
emptied it out. So we can see your computer. That you got to square, kind of use your hand, Joe, and point to the area.
This right here,
Yeah,
Russia.
and
Where you
areas
see blue on the
very few.
screen. Well, I can make your screen show up in OBS if you want.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's getting her bad idea. If they're curious, they can go look it up again. What was the address?
Satellite-map.space. Now this
This is pretty cool.
website is unaffiliated with it's not affiliated with SpaceX or Starlink, so this is just a fan, I guess.
You can see, man, there's a massive train going through wherever this is. Is that ocean?
Yeah, it looks like
Or no, that's heading towards.
it's like the Middle East.
Yeah, going over the Middle East. Huh.
How about? I mean, these satellites, they don't have their own like propulsion system, do they? I mean, how are they like flying around? They're just launched in a line, and then they're able to
No, they have some sort of
veer off somehow.
yeah, they have some sort of propulsion system. So here's what I don't understand: how did the ones that they launched that day get knocked out by the sunburst, but the other ones didn't? So I don't know. We need some science person. Where's Emily Candarelli when you need her? So if you have a lot of questions about science or you're super interested in STEM, Emily Candarelli is a WVU graduate that went into and works for NASA and still does.
And has her own Netflix series.
Yeah, does all kinds of cool stuff, and she's the space gal. But she's awesome, so we need to get her on as a guest.
Yes, and then answer all of our
You stupid questions.
yes.
She's probably gonna be like, "You guys,
What
stay out of science."
You
Or-
guys are the reason West Virginia gets a bad rep.
Yeah.
The red dots, there's some sort of malfunction with those satellites there,
I don't know.
or that.
I think those are like towers, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I clicked on one of those, and it is. Okay, yeah, it's actually like a tower because it says antennas.
Yeah, I mean,
And- Okay, so now this part I do know about. So the little orange dots, the little antennas, those are towers that SpaceX is setting up in areas. And the only reason I know that was through that RDOF internet auction we talked about in the past. They actually, SpaceX won a spot in Calhoun County, right in the middle of Arnold's There's just like a dot that said SpaceX, and they were supposed to put a tower over there.
really.
Yes.
You know what's weird though? They don't have any of them over Alaska either. I wonder if that's just because of the way they have to fly.
Well, they have towers over there.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm looking at 3 towers right now.
Yeah. So they don't need to have a satellite if they have towers.
Right, I guess the towers pick up the satellite signal and then push it out like cell phone signal.
Gotcha. Interesting stuff. But boy, you're right. Russia is blank except for a couple.
2020, SpaceX awarded $886 million as part of the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund.
Yep, RDOF fund. How much was it?
$886 million. We're throwing a lot of money, at the rural internet access issue, and as we've discussed on the show previously, Joe, it doesn't seem like it's cut and dry. You're able to throw money out and make it happen.
Yeah, it was one of those. One of the few good things that came out of the pandemic was the government got a wake-up call of realizing that, believe it or not, the internet providers will lie to you. I know you guys are shocked, but
So shocked I can't stand it.
I know.
I remember you talked. One of our stories was about like turning in your information so that they would know what the truth was or not, if you're supposed to be covered in a coverage area or not.
Right.
How did you ever get anything more on that about how that worked out?
Yeah, that's where
So they
gathered that information and they did the RDOF auction, and these internet providers did a reverse auction on broadband, and the government's giving them 5 years to implement it, or they have to turn the money back in.
Huh. Interesting. So do you think this will actually... Hold on. What was your initial story?
The price is going to go up.
Okay. Do you think this will impact, like, Russia, since they're kind of moving satellites out of their deal? Is that just, like everything else, they're just squeezing the Russian public so that they revolt against the government?
I think that's just part of it. They're just shut off
I mean,
all resources, and maybe they'll...
Yeah. Elon Musk did challenge him to a fist fight, so, you know. Which, if I was Putin, I would be like, he doesn't seem like... I haven't seen him, you know, without a shirt on a horse, so, you know.
All right.
Maybe you could take Elon Musk. But
Yeah, but, you know, you can never underestimate the power of crazy, so... Crazy fighting crazy, it might be a good fight.
It might.
Here we go. That's how we lower our gas prices. We sell it as a pay-per-view event, and all the money goes towards lowering gas prices.
Lowering gas prices.
Because I guarantee you people will pay good money to see this. Or if Putin loses, he just has to give it up and put everything back the way he found it.
Well, Joe, you talked before about the home internet you've got through
T-Mobile?
or T-Mobile, yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if that works well, there's no reason for you to go running out and get a Starlink
Exactly.
thing, right?
Well, I
for
think...
somebody maybe it's in the way out there.
So far
somewhere.
out they don't have cable, and
Right.
they can't get Dish or whatever, and their only choice is like HughesNet or something along those lines.
Right. Yeah, where Starlink comes into play compared to, for example, HughesNet, is Starlink's using what they call low orbit satellites, so that cuts down on your delay and your latency by a lot.
Yeah.
And you can get almost ground level speeds, and your latency cuts down tremendously.
Huh.
That's why everybody's going gaga over it.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy how they make this stuff work. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm not smart enough to comprehend all the science and math behind it, but it's pretty neat. Somebody thought this was like, all right, listen, we can put up these low orbit satellites, cover enough square miles, make our money back. So, I guess,
Burn a few in the ocean.
yeah.
It says the goal of Starlink is to launch 42,000 satellites eventually.
Jeez, they got
that's the goal.
1,600?
Yeah, they're probably over 2,000 by now, but
Yeah, still,
'cause this is 2021.
they're a little ways away.
Yeah.
That's massive launching of satellites. I'd be curious. I'm fascinated by watching this, and so everybody out there knows I'm still looking at this map and watching these satellites move around. And I'm fascinated by the trains. I wonder how they go and disperse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a whole line going around Cape Horn right now, or going over Cape Horn. It's massive. It's probably 30 or so.
I wonder if they have like a little rudder, almost like a plane on, where it can change slightly to an angle, and then that sends you a little bit different angle. I don't know.
Now I'm starting to wonder, like, air traffic control issues. You know, how does the trains, I guess they get to a different level, but I mean, how do they not wreck into each other? There's got to be a lot of logistical stuff happening.
Yeah.
Of course, somebody somewhere is like, you knucklehead. Yeah, it's just like air traffic. You get one at one height and the other 1,000 feet above them, and no problem. But you're right. There's a A lot of stuff going into that, how they steer themselves and get to where they're supposed to be. Joe's going to figure it out for us.
Yeah.
It sounds like even with this sort of satellite technology, you can still have bottlenecks in speed. Like
Yeah, if the cloud goes by or...
well, if you have a big surge in people trying to use all the satellites at the same time, you can still get slowed down internet speeds.
Right, I think that's why they are delaying trying to deploy that so much to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
As of right now, anybody can go on and order, or is there like a wait list? Do you know?
Yeah, there's a wait list. 'Cause I know several people that have signed up for it and are just waiting for their equipment.
Huh,
So I'm back over Russia, and it almost looks like a smiley face. You guys seen that?
Okay, yeah, I see the train going around there.
Let me get over to you, Justin. So, one eye, two eyes,
Long mouth.
smiley face.
Now I'm gonna say that's coincidence, but if we have,
I am too.
but if they have one that shows like a vulgar gesture, I'm gonna be like, no, that's on purpose to Russia.
Well, I just wonder if, who's in charge of the two rogue ones there?
Yeah,
If you're like, all right, listen,
those are two that just kind
Joe,
of just
you got to step up your game and get your two satellites out of there.
yeah.
They come in with their coffee in their hand and wonder, what? Why is everybody staring at me?
Okay, actually, yeah, those I'm tracking those two, and they are like on their way out of the country. So,
As we speak.
yeah.
That's funny. So yeah, somebody's getting chewing over that one. They're like, time out. Oh, you're right, man. They're going to get out of there quick.
I'd say, I would say wind, but there's no such thing as wind in space. Like
Yeah.
somehow it just kind of floated off track, and then somebody's caught it. Like, get it out of there, get it out of there. So I think there's more truth to what you think, Dave.
I wonder if it's kind of like, those two knucklehead satellites. Didn't they get the order?
Yeah.
Treat them as if they're human.
Hey, reboot them.
Yeah. We got to get Charlie and Inez in order here because they're missing out. They're going the wrong direction. Or if they're like, that's silly, Charlie. He's going off course again.
Well, now
Reroute.
Now there is two more coming into Russia.
Yeah. I see they're still moving, which is neat. But yeah, those two definitely came out of their airspace. I wonder if it's because they're like, listen, these guys doing a podcast and a Facebook Live video are talking about, these two rogue satellites here. We gotta get our game together, folks. Making us look bad. Anyway, all right. So Starlink's upping their prices. And you said you knew somebody that had the service?
Somebody that is getting the service.
Really?
Yeah.
What's how do they?
What's their situation?
I've
like?
seen zero signs.
No broadband.
You know how
Right.
HughesNet has signs they put out and stuff like that, and
Right.
Suddenlink sends out flyers.
Well, Elon Musk, if you've noticed, he doesn't fall in the same general categories as how everybody else does things.
Yeah.
So
I
I
just-
think that's why.
Yeah, you think like local reps or something.
The person you know of that's on the wait list, or are they in an area where there's like no cell signal whatsoever? Or
Well,
why not do
their cell phone signal, but they're not offering the 5G yet.
yeah.
But they're wanting me to install it, so I will report back once they get the equipment.
So Justin, here's a little deal for you. In this lower left-hand corner, so there's the total number, 2,200 and some, and then green, 1,600 and some. On fire,
Yeah.
192.
Currently burning up and plunging towards the earth. 192.
That's funny. No, really.
I've never seen the satellite map. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what you need, Dave? We just need to set this up with a screen in your office, and then you guys can just monitor the satellites all day.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. All right. Anyway, so talking about Starlink and how the prices are going to go up, and just be aware, folks.
Yep.
Okay. Man, that is a bright screen. So the next story,
Roku.
Roku.
Yeah.
And you're not a subscriber?
Oh, yeah, I'm full in Roku universe.
Okay, you're okay. I thought you were Sling or something.
Well, Yes, but
You
I
use the Roku as a platform. And,
to get
okay,
to
yeah.
Sling. Yes.
All right. So Roku, update us on what's new with Roku.
So Roku is pushing out an update, a huge update. Their new version 11 is slated to be released in the next few weeks, and it has a few new features coming at you.
Really?
Yeah. So you're going to now be able to have new personalization features, including all new photo stream with this new update.
Hold on, what?
So you'll be able to add your own pictures as like the little screensaver on your Roku.
Okay.
So one of the
The
changes.
sarcastic me wants to say just what I always wanted.
Yeah.
Pictures of me on my own TV looking back at me. How exciting. Anyway.
Yeah, but it'd be no different than having pictures of yourself on the wall.
I don't have any pictures of myself on the wall. Pictures of my kids.
Okay, but now you have your pictures of your kids floating around on your TV.
Oh gosh, I see them enough. Anyway. No, I understand. People like that personalization, like their phone screensavers and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool, I guess. You could use it like one of those live photo albums.
Yeah. So not only will PhotoStream allow users to display photos from their desktop or mobile device on the Roku, but users will also be able to share streams with their Roku device owners as well. Once a stream is shared, other Roku owners will be able to add to it, allowing everyone to collaborate on a shared album. So basically, you could set it up. So in your case, Dave, you could get your mom her own Roku,
Yeah.
and like you could send pictures to it, and then she could sit there and
She'd see them as well.
yeah,
So here's the thing.
That's kind of cool.
My mom likes like just general cable or
right,
basic dish or whatever.
right,
She doesn't trust this voodoo magic stuff that's the interweb.
right.
I was trying to explain how a hotspot works. I've been trying to explain it for like 2 weeks. And her reasoning is she doesn't pay extra for it. She just gets it
Right,
on her phone.
right.
I'm like, yeah, everybody gets a hotspot. That's what your phone does.
Yeah.
No. I get mine extra.
Yeah.
And I don't have to pay for it.
Right.
Congratulations. You're like everybody else that has a smartphone.
It's like that Geico commercial where that woman's sitting there talking to the little gecko and goes, I just did a test. I took a test online and it finds out I'm an introvert. He goes, really? I am too. She goes, oh no, it's really rare.
Yeah, it's funny. Older people in technology, and I'm on the cusp of that, so I understand. There's like this satellite thing. I don't understand how that works.
Right.
So yeah, trying to get her to you have other options, but it's hard because once you're kind of just ingrained in that, you got to have your satellite dish that you can see, and you got to,
Right.
So it's interesting. Interesting stuff.
So, and one of the other features Roku's going to be rolling out is it's a new feature called What to Watch on Roku. It's going to be a new menu, and it's a personally curated hub added to the home screen menu that will suggest popular and recently released TV and movies.
Okay.
So there's just a couple of new features coming to Roku. So if you have a Roku device and you want to turn your screensaver in, set your screensaver up with your own pictures,
Yeah.
now you'll be able to.
It's funny. You talk about the suggested things.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a glorified TV guide.
Yes.
Somebody somewhere in a meeting, which didn't have us in it,
Yeah.
was like, you know what? We could add a TV guide type situation to this. And they're like, oh, that's old school. Nobody wants to know about the newest stuff coming out and what's going to be. How often did a TV guide come out? Once a month?
Once a week.
Once a week? Okay.
Yeah.
Weekly updates on what movies to look forward to and what's going to be playing. Nobody wants that. And somebody in there, bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I remember flipping through that. It's got like the whole schedule of TV.
Yeah.
In a book form, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love the little book form. They're still around.
Are they?
Yeah. But it's like it's way thinner. It used to be, and it's like in a full magazine size now. It's like, to me, like the value was because it was different. It was smaller. It was It was perfect. Well, now, so between that and then you actually have your whole guide on your TV. That the TV guide itself is kind of useless, unfortunately.
Well, and somebody in the Roku deals like, listen, we can do and Netflix is the same way, I guess, and some of those other ones like top 10 trending now, blah blah blah.
Right.
What's new. So they're kind of hitting that stride.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, they're providing their own version of TV guide.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? The old TV guide.
Yeah, it kind of it kind of pains me to dump on TV Guide because I think that's kind of a piece of pop culture. If you think
It
about
is. Yeah. No, I'm not dumping on it. I'm just saying somebody said.
No, well, it's like we kind of laugh at it now
Yeah.
because it's so old, but
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to laugh at. It's like that's nostalgia there. That's,
Yeah, and people bought them because they kept coming.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember seeing 3 come through the mailbox every week. One went to our house, one went to my granny's, one went to my uncle's house. I mean, it was like when you got the mail every week, it was
TV Guide time.
yeah. Yeah, everybody had their own subscription to TV Guide.
Isn't that something? And now they've bumped it over and made it digital.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. I forget what we're talking about. Roku.
The Roku OS update.
So it can mimic the photo
from your
picture frames, the digital photo picture frames.
Yeah, you can.
Do you have one of those?
The digital picture frames?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I kind of want to get one for my mom. I'm curious as to how they work.
I seen somebody. I read a story a while back. Somebody took one of those little Raspberry Pis.
Yeah.
And what they did was, it took a lot of work.
Yeah.
But they took and used video editing software and took like a wedding video and super slowed it down to like that 30-minute clip took like 3 days to play.
Yeah.
So it was like a slow-moving picture frame. So like every time you look up, it would look a little different.
Huh.
I was like, now that's just cool. I mean, that's not something I would have thought of, but it's like, you know what? That's neat. That's something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Be so slow moving that you wouldn't notice. You just like leave the room.
Right.
Come back, it'd be a little different.
Yeah.
Huh. All with you taught a class on Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you guys did with it though. Video games, right?
Well, we did some different things. We taught them some basic video game coding.
Yeah.
And some. They was all into Minecraft, so we showed them how coding impacted Minecraft and how you could type in some code and completely change everything, and showed them how video games worked, and then they actually showed them how to build, how they could build their own video game.
Yeah. Huh. Neat.
So if you have a Roku, don't be surprised you'll see an update coming soon and some new bells and whistles coming at you.
Do you know why I can't get a digital photo frame from my mom?
Because she won't turn a hotspot on?
She doesn't know how to turn on the hotspot. But yes, she doesn't have internet. I keep telling her.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, you need to get internet. She's like, I don't need that. I got a hotspot. And it's free.
I'm shocked.
Tell me about it.
Like no more than the few interactions I've had with your mom,
Yeah.
she doesn't seem like the type that.
Well, what would she use?
She wouldn't have internet.
What would she use the internet for?
Facebook.
She used a phone.
Okay. That surprises me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, is that as active as?
I know. I told her, I was like, I'll get you a laptop. We'll get you set up, and you can do your Facebook on your laptop where you can see it better, and life will be a little bit easier for you. And you can use it for other things. You need internet, we can get you a Google Assistant and
like
all kinds of fun stuff. And she's just like, nah, I got a hotspot. I called the AT&T lady. She told me I have it. It's free. It's included. I got it special. She's like, yeah, if one of the kids want to come over and use their laptop, they can just use my hotspot. I was like, yeah, okay, they have their own. Believe it or not, it's also on their phones.
Oh no, this is different.
I know, it's crazy. She views it as like a thing.
Yeah.
Like a hotspot box.
Yeah.
That she has.
Kind of like the Google.
Yeah, like it's out on the line.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's funny. Funny when you try to teach technology to older people, just because we're used to it.
Right.
But I kind of see it. I'm getting to be that way with some of the stuff that I see rolling through, and I'm just like, I don't comprehend it.
Yeah. I was kind of in a similar boat with the whole hotspot deal when we moved mom and dad over to our account. They got hotspot with theirs.
Yeah.
So I was showing dad how to turn it on, how to use it. So when they go camping, they can use it in the camper.
Oh yeah.
And so the other evening I was over there, and he said, "Hey," He said, I tried my hotspot the other day. He said, the internet went out. He said, so I tried my hotspot and I was able to connect and it worked. I was like, great.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the coolest thing now. That
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, this will work. Hey, if you got it to work, I'm, as Mike Tyson would say, I'm ecstatic.
Gosh. All right. Well, so Starlink, Roku, and now the big one.
Facebook.
Facebook.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
I know.
Meta.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Meta. Is this Meta or Facebook?
Facebook.
Okay. Specific.
So, apparently,
Yeah.
Facebook hates its users. And here's why. So Facebook, in their infinite wisdom, is locking people out of their accounts who have not recently activated the Facebook Protect system.
What?
So it's like a two-factor authentication.
It's
thing?
exactly what it is.
Have I been locked out? I just didn't know it.
Oh no, you would know it because you couldn't get logged into your account.
I might be logged out. I don't know.
So earlier this month, a bunch of Facebook users got a mysterious spam-like email titled, "Your account requires advanced security from Facebook Protect," and telling them that they were required to turn on the Facebook Protect feature, which they could do by hitting the link in the email by a certain date, or they would be locked out of their account. The program, according to Facebook, is a, quote, security program for groups of people that are more likely to be targeted by malicious hackers, such as human rights defenders, journalists, and government officials, unquote. It's meant to do things like ensure those accounts are monitored for hacking threats, that they are protected by two-factor authentication. Unfortunately, the email that Facebook sent came from the address security@facebookmail.com. Resembled a rather common form of spam, so it's probable that many people ignored it. And now that we found out it wasn't spam, in fact it was real. The first deadline to hit many people was Thursday, March 17th, which was last week. And now they are locked out of their Facebook accounts and are having trouble with the process that Facebook has put in place to get them logged back in. So Facebook goes, hey, we broke it. Yeah, we broke it, but here's a way to fix it. And, oh, by the way, that's not working either. So those who did not activate Facebook Protect before the deadline and are apparently getting a message explaining that they can't get into their accounts and offering them to turn it on. However, it's not always working. There have been a variety of complaints on Twitter and other social networking venues that people are being locked out of their accounts even if they do have the appropriate safeguards. Some say that their text-based two-factor authentication is simply not working. And others complain that they couldn't get their activation process even before the deadline, so they're effectively locked out of their accounts. So if you have Facebook and you're locked out, this is why.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're welcome.
Yeah, and you're welcome.
You get a little break from the interweb and you can, have some personal space.
Yeah, or just go to Twitter and complain.
You can just switch over to the other social media and get your fix.
Although it is funny when Facebook did shut down a few months ago when they locked themselves out of everything.
Yeah.
Twitter did post a tweet under their account that says, welcome everyone from Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, that's awesome. So basically, Facebook sent an email that kind of looked kind of scammy, and everybody's going, nope.
Yeah, a little squirrely. I'm not participating in that.
Which is just dumb because Facebook will literally little annoying pop-ups for everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another one of those meeting situations that the three of us should have been in.
Exactly.
Somebody's like, listen, let's just send an email.
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant.
We get a notification that some other person that you haven't talked to in 20 years liked some other person's photo, but
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
you can't get a notification that says like, hey, there's something important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. This is what you need to know about your Facebook account while you're on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're going to increase our security settings. You need to do this by this date.
Yeah.
Well, that makes too much sense. We can't have that.
So hold on. What happened? What do you need to do? Did I miss it?
So basically, what's happening?
How do you know if it's happened to you or not?
You can't. You open up Facebook and it goes log in, and then it throws a little error. It says you can't get logged in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a.
All right, I'm logged in, so I must have got it.
Do you have two-factor authentication turned on?
I don't know. You gotta quit asking me these hard questions, Joe.
So yeah, so basically Facebook just went every which way possible to screw this up. It's like it was a very simple process, but they said, "Oh no, it can't be this simple."
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
We could solve a lot of problems if they'd let us in these meetings.
I know. To any company out there that is watching or hearing this, we come as a package deal of all three of us.
It has to be all three of us.
Yeah, because one of us isn't going to
We're not
lead
going
the other.
rogue, yeah.
Yeah, one of us isn't going to lead the other two out of this fun. The three of us come as a package deal, and you pay for our expenses, and we'll stay as long as you want.
Yeah.
Our only requirement is we'll be required to bring in the flimsy part of the fishing rod.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah. And
now it gets fun.
Yeah, and any dumb idea that comes up, you get whacked in the back of the neck.
Somewhere. You get whatever you can reach.
Yeah, so I told my cousin that idea. He goes, you're just going to beat the thunder out of one guy because he's going to go, and you're going to whack and go, be quiet. But whack! I told you quiet. Ow! Whack!
And that would so happen.
Yeah.
Somebody would just argue. You see it in kids all the time. They're like, but.
Yeah. Whack! Whack!
Oh, man.
I said, yeah, it's one of those things. I give it 2 years, and then it just turned into a job where it's not fun whacking them anymore.
I'm kind of excited for, when we get invited to one of these meetings, somebody somewhere is going to listen to this and be like, you know what?
Brilliant!
Let's give these guys a shot. Yeah, and then bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
I second it. Send them in. And they're going to be like, wait a minute, what's the flimsy part of the fishing rod for? Don't worry about it. It's fine.
You'll find out shortly. I guarantee it.
Since you asked the question, you'll probably be the first. It's okay.
I forget what the news story was, but sometime a while back on this show, I think you brought it up, Joe, that people were having to take a selfie video to confirm their identity. Do you remember talking about that?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was that made you do that.
Instagram maybe, or
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do it just the other day. I was doing taxes and went to log in to the IRS site so you can kind of see like.
I remember doing that. Yeah.
And I had to take a picture of my ID and then.
Yep.
Do this selfie video and it said like turn up the brightness, and it was like shining different colors on my face. It looked like something out of like Terminator or something.
Really?
My face was like.
Yeah, if you want to have an
changing
IRS
colors
account,
you
have to have that.
Go like that and like they'll text you a link, then you open that and then hit like start video. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be used for other pet
Right.
projects.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Justin is officially in the system.
Time out. We trust the IRS. Come on now.
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
Apple's got my fingerprints, and now the IRS has my biometric data.
Oh boy. I gave mine up too, though. I was like, Joe can fix it if it all goes bad.
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
Thanks.
No pressure, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
forget
just like
even what we were talking about. Jeez
things
Louise.
continue to get hacked, and then we have to do more and more steps, it seems like.
Oh, Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin, you're
Yeah.
dragging us way off track here, buddy.
No, it's all security related.
That's the new justification. Hey, as long as it's security related, then we're okay.
Well, it's
You
close
can go as
it's
far
close
off tangent as you want.
Yeah, it's close
Get
to
logged in and logged out. all that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, it is close to being on topic. I mean, it's way
Closer
closer.
than potholes or something.
Well, it's way closer than us sitting there talking about the flimsy part of a fishing rod.
Yeah.
So I got to give him credit. It was within the realms of the news story.
Yeah.
Somewhere adjacent to it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Product review?
Yes.
We have a product review.
Yes, I couldn't bring it in today, but today we're going to talk about the TCL.
I know. I wanted to see this product in action. I feel like we got cheated. How about you, Justin?
Yeah.
A product with some cords and stuff would be all right.
Hey, I brought you the projector.
I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, but you didn't even know where the screen was either, so
That's because I haven't used it
you
yet.
kind of lost a little bit of
I
credibility.
did pull it out of the box when we looked at it. Just the projector.
Yeah.
And I was like, daggone it, there's no screen. I didn't realize the screen could fit in that little box.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to think of, man, I need a free night so I can watch some TV. How sad is that? But, you know, I don't know. I kind of view it as a good thing. That's why I don't have a TV.
Right. Well, you've got kids. I mean, I understand completely.
It's track and soccer season, so
Yeah.
it's hectic. But anyway, all right. So product review time. You have this thing that you could not bring in. Tell us why.
Because it's the TCL brand 50-inch Class 4 Series 4K Ultra HD Smart Roku TV. So it's a 50-inch television.
Wow, that is one heck of a description of a TV.
Well, that's how TCL has it.
TCL. Now, what is that? I've never even heard of that.
Me neither.
Okay, so let me
Googling
throw
it.
the model number out here, and then we'll get talking about it.
Okay.
Incredible ratings on Amazon.
Yeah, the TCL.
They're all Joe.
It's model number 50S435.
Yep.
And it is a 50-inch television that has it's 4K. It's a 4K television with Roku built in. So TCL came on the scene a couple years ago as they are a Chinese electronics company headquartered in the Guangdong province, founded as a state-owned enterprise. It designs, develops, manufactures, and sells consumer products. They came on the scene. They really came into America a few years ago as kind of a more budget-type television, where all the prices of the TVs were going up with all the brands. TCL came in and said, "Hey, we can do it for cheaper." So they
$320 for a 50-inch.
Yeah. And they're
Okay.
they're 4K panels with Roku built in.
But it's not like a huge TV, right? It's just
No, why is Roku? I mean, I understand Roku's built in, but what if you switch from Roku to something else?
Well, you just buy
Just buy the little
like a Fire Stick
plug-in.
or the dongle.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
so like bigger than this window here in the studio. Trying to
Yeah.
get a sense for
Yeah, because
How big the screen
it's
is.
50 inches diagonally. So
good sized TV then.
yeah.
It's got the little legs. Do you use those?
Yes.
Or do you have it mounted somewhere?
No, I don't have a wall mount. I have my deer heads hanging over top. So
Don't be messing around with the deer heads.
that's right. That's Sadie's inheritance.
Yeah, looking through some reviews, got some people that are pretty irate.
Hold on, does Sadie know this?
Surprise!
Bloody brilliant.
Got some 5-star people. This is great. Other people do not buy this.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, they have pretty high rankings. If you look at any of the models, they're at least 4-star ratings. Because I pulled them up here on Best Buy's website to see what's going on there.
One person claiming that you're required to sign up for a Roku account when you get the TV or
Well,
to use the TV.
Well, yeah, it's a Roku TV. I mean, that's
And then they say, I didn't pay attention to the details when I purchased.
so it's the TV's fault.
I am furious about this and will never spend a dime.
Oh, Karen's at it already this morning.
Yeah.
This is BS and Roku should be ashamed. Exclamation point.
Explanation point, nonetheless.
Yeah. Roku should be ashamed of selling a product that they advertise, and that I'm too ignorant to read.
Yeah.
So the TV, the features it comes with, of course, it comes with Roku, and it also comes as far as input ports go. It comes with an Ethernet port and Wi-Fi, so you can either hardwire your TV or run it off Wi-Fi, and it runs off the 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. It comes with 4 HDMI ports. It comes with a coax cable / antenna jack. It has a USB port, and comes with an adapter cable where it looks like a little headphone jack, but you plug it in and it gives you your old RCA red, yellow, and white connectors. It even has
Time out.
Okay.
When's the last time you used one of those? Are they relevant, I guess? That's my question.
For older equipment, yeah.
Like what?
Well, older game consoles, if somebody still has a VCR. Yeah, like I used it last week.
Who has a VCR?
I used it last week.
You have a VCR?
Yeah, I was converting videotapes for somebody.
Okay. That makes sense to me, but I mean, who really has a VCR anymore? Like, hey, let's get out the VHS and watch a movie.
Watch a VHS on a 4K TV.
Yeah.
That, you're right. That makes even more sense to my conversation here about who has a VCR. This is funny. We should do a poll. I bet there's a lot of people here in our community that still have VCRs.
Okay, so we do this one of two ways.
Yeah.
Poll people on if you still own a VCR,
Mm-hmm.
or do you want to poll them on if they still use it?
Does it
But that's
actually
different.
still work?
That's true.
My mom's got one, but it's like hanging on by a thread. It barely works.
Does she use it?
No.
No.
She's got some VHSs sitting around, but
Well, we went through our attic. It's been a couple years, but went through our attic and we had a whole tote of like old kids movies.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh, jeez. Why did we save these again? I don't even remember. You know, like,
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
we just didn't have the heart to throw them away because they were kids' favorites, you know. But
Right.
a whole tote full. But we're like, oh, the memories of when they were little. But now, you know, like who even has a VCR? We didn't even have a VCR last time out 2 years ago when I saw the tote. I was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But
So it even has a headphone jack and an optical jack for your audio needs.
I could see the headphone jack.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can watch TV with headphones on or whatever.
Well, or if your soundbar only has a headphone aux-in capability, you could use that as well.
Ah, okay. All right. Huh, the RCA cable thing gets me.
Well, if you have like older gaming consoles.
I guess. I just mean that's just funny.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of an oddity nowadays. And you can even link it with your Amazon Alexa or your Google Assistant or Siri.
now, was this a replacement of your main TV when you got this? Or
Yeah, yeah. The old TV we had, the LEDs were starting to go out, so it's like, yeah, it's time to take old Yeller behind the shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't go buy this just because I wanted to.
So here's the crazy part. The last time I got a new TV, it's been a while. But I went in and I was like, hey, listen, you know, my box TV lasted me forever. I want one of those. You know, and the guy's like, what? I was like, you know, where's your box TVs?
Yeah.
And this is at Walmart. And I hadn't realized, because, you know, you only go look at TVs when you want to buy one, right?
Right.
I hadn't realized they no longer make them.
No.
You had to get one of the flat screens.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want one. I think it'll break soon. Because we become kind of a throwaway culture, you know, where
Right.
the old box ones, you could get those worked on.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, so it's one of those deals where I was baffled because I stood there for a couple minutes and he's like, do you want to look at one of the TVs we do have?
Yeah.
Or what are we doing here, pal? And I was like, ugh. I guess I'm coming out of the Stone Age and I'm getting a flat screen. So now I need to do some research.
I always have to stop myself, but I'm always severely tempted to go into like a Best Buy just to mess with them.
Right.
Go in there and I'll tell them I want a new 4-head VCR and just throw out a bunch of old technology at them and just see what just watch the look on their face.
Yep, I understand.
Just
See,
to
they
mess
probably
with
wouldn't even know what that is.
That's the whole point. It's just like just go in there and mess with them, just watch
But
them.
I mean, you know, they might know what it is and be like, are you serious, bub? But if they have no idea, like, huh, that sounds interesting. 4 heads on a VCR, okay. What part of the, you know, plasma TV is this exactly? So I know what to look for? Is this like a Samsung thing, or are we talking,
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It just literally just watch them just melt down right there.
Might have to try this in video, Joe. We'll bring it on the show.
Well, I have another thing I can try. Literally, I was walking around in Best Buy one day.
Yeah.
And all I had on was like a dark blue, almost black polo and khakis. I had 3 people stop me in the store, thought I worked there. To the point, I was at the back of the store looking at the TVs, and there was a lady all the way at the front of the store screamed halfway all the way over, "Hey! Do you know anything about TV antennas?" So I'm like, and I'm looking, it's like,
Ooh,
yeah.
wait a minute. How did you answer this? Because I know you do know about TV antennas.
I walked over to her. Well, this is after 2 other people had stopped me before then.
Yeah.
I walked up to her. I said, "Ma'am," I said, "I don't work here." I said, "But," I said, "I am a tech guy, and I know a lot about this." So I literally just walked past them. I said, "So come here, and
Nice.
I'll take you over there. So I literally took her over there and was explaining to her the difference between all of them. One of the sales reps walks by me, sees what I'm doing, and just goes right on back to the break room.
Never mind, I'm on break. He seems to be doing a good job.
So I told my buddy Mike, I was like,
oh, gosh.
who's in IT as well, I said, hey, I got an idea.
Yeah.
I said, we need to go to Best Buy on Saturday. I said, we're going to play a game. We're going to go in there and see how long we last before somebody figures out that we don't work there and we get kicked out. The one that lasts longest wins, the loser buys lunch. and you can either really help the people or you can just mess with people. It's your choice.
Use
just
your
see,
powers for good or
evil. It's your choice, and just see how long it takes before we get thrown out of here. Because literally, the first two people that stopped me, this guy just kept staring at me, and I'm like, what's his problem? Then this woman started staring at me. It's like, okay, at this point, did I spill something on myself or what? And then this lady finally says, do you work here? And I go, no. And that guy goes, well, I was wondering the same thing. And I'm going,
why?
yeah.
You got the uniform on, pal. Start doing the job.
Yeah, you got a nice shirt and a pair of khakis on. You work here. Because nobody will come here on purpose looking like that.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Well,
that's funny, though.
Yeah, well, Cena and I, we was actually judges in a state FBLA competition.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we was down there, and I was like, well, here I'm going to go hit Best Buy, see what new gadgets they have in there. And I finally came out, and Cena said, we was in there for a while. I said, you won't believe what just happened. So I
had to help 3 people, and I'm trying to get commission on my sales.
Yeah.
Of course I was in there a while.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my numbers up by the end of the week here.
And I only have 1 hour to do it. I got to work hard. I got to hustle.
Yeah, so I tell her all that, and she goes, I believe that. She said only you would find yourself in that situation. She said, she said, did you help him? I said, well, yeah. She said, well, yeah. I said, I had to help him at this point.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Did you get the commission?
No.
Probably the guy going to the break room. He's like, I don't know who that guy out there is, but I get his sales.
Yeah. Yeah, dibs on the newbie.
He's so new he doesn't even have a name tag.
Yeah, what a loser.
That's funny. Oh, gosh. All right, hold on. I got lost where we were on this TV.
So we went through the specs.
Okay, all right.
And it comes with a 1-year warranty course. You can get extended warranties through the manufacturer or wherever you find these fine televisions. So you guys ready for the pros and cons?
You betcha. Hit us with the pros.
Okay.
I've got some real quick, Joe.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
There's somebody calling your TV a liar. They said it's lying about the refresh rate. They claim 120 hertz when it's actually 60 hertz and uses a software to boost the refresh rate.
Okay.
Hold on. I got 2 comments right off the bat on this. One, the TV cannot be a liar because it's not an entity, a person, And 2, regardless of how you get that rate, if that's what the rate is, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So they're saying it's
no
60, but they're using software to boost it.
No amount of software can actually do this.
Ooh, okay. So this becomes a tech versus tech type situation, Joe. Enter the octagon.
Yeah.
What do you guys say now?
Hardware versus software. Hardware will do a better job, but
does it get to 120 frames?
Or 120 hertz?
Hertz?
Through the software, if it boosted, yes, but it wouldn't do as good a job as.
But it does get there.
Yeah.
So technically,
but if you put them side to side, you would probably notice a little difference. But
I think that's not the argument, though. The argument is, does it get to 120 hertz?
Well, I think if you reach that point,
well, I guess what I'm saying is that accurate? Could it do that with software?
Oh yeah.
All right then.
Oh yeah.
Justin, reply back to that guy and say you don't know what you're talking about. Joe says, and then include Joe's email.
Yeah, let's keyboard warrior this up.
Yeah, Joe says software does the trick, and you're at 120 hertz.
Yeah, it's called upscaling.
Okay.
They've been doing that for years.
Put that word in there too.
Well, I can either say that his review was helpful or report him for abuse.
Ooh. I feel like he's being pretty abusive.
Yeah, so we got 3 options.
To the TV.
We can either upvote it, leave it alone, or go full on Karen and report it.
How you feeling today, Justin? Feel like starting a war?
No.
Bloody brilliant! So you gonna let this one ride? How dare you, Justin? Let him get away with that.
I'll keep this window open. I'll think about it.
He's contemplating.
Contemplating.
Yeah, upscaling. It's exactly what they said. It's just software that boosts it up. But the
Well-
company's been doing that for several years now.
Yeah.
Ever since 4K came out, they've done.
We're going to
that.
claim that person's a knucklehead. And,
Well, that's just being petty.
yeah, to the positives. Hit us with the positives, Joe. Or the
Okay.
pros. Sorry, pros.
The price, the MSRP on this TV is $459.99, but you can find it a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's $320 on Amazon.
Yeah, and I think Best Buy had it the same price. So you can find it way cheaper, but at most you're going to pay $459 for it.
A 50-inch TV?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem bad. I don't know about the price TVs, but
No, because if you want like a good Samsung, you're probably going to pay probably at least $200 more.
okay.
At least.
Gotcha. All right.
The picture quality is great. For what I use it for, that 4K display, the picture is crisp and clean. I mean, there's no complaints.
How's that refresh rate?
I have no complaints.
So the 120 hertz software deal doesn't bother you?
Not at all.
All right. So I don't know enough to know, but how important is like the 4K picture? Is it noticeable? Like if you
Oh, yeah.
watch TV at someone's house and you're like, you don't have 4K, and then you go home and you watch 4K, you're like, yes.
If
Does it give you the warm and fuzzies?
you'd have to look for it. Now, if you had both TVs side by side, you would notice it's a world
Right.
of difference. But like if I go to your house and I come home, you might notice it, you might not,
Right.
or you may have to look for it and go, oh yeah, you're not 4K.
Gotcha.
But it's not a
Is that something you're willing to pay for?
well, it came built in. So.
I know, but I'm saying if you had a choice between a model that wasn't 4K and a model that was, would you pay a little extra for it?
No, because there's still not enough 4K content out there to justify it.
Okay.
That's the thing. That
So really, it is a good pro. It's just it's a bonus pro.
right.
Okay, got you. Huh.
And my last pro is it has Roku. That's a good thing. I love Roku. I love Roku products. It's one of those. It just works. And while I like Roku over the Fire Sticks or anything like that, all these other companies, they always try to pigeon toe you into using their stuff first. For
Right.
example, the Fire Stick, if you search a movie, the first result is, hey, you can rent it on Amazon Prime for $1.99. And I guess if you want to watch it, yeah, Netflix has it and Hulu has it. And they always put those at the bottom. Roku, they don't care. They go, oh yeah, here it is. You can watch it with Netflix, or you can watch it on Hulu, or you can watch it on Amazon. They just go ahead and give it all to you and tell you the price up front. And
Yeah.
and if, like, for example, if you have Netflix and that movie you're wanting to watch it on Netflix, it says Netflix, use subscription. You just click it, and boom, it just starts. You don't have to go into Netflix, then go search for it.
Yeah.
You click that, it automatically opens Netflix for you. It opens the movie straight to it. I mean, it just works. It's clean.
Nice.
It's simple.
And having that built in is an added bonus.
Yes.
Because you have to pay for the Roku thing, right? The stick.
Yeah, if you don't have a TV that has
Right.
if you don't have a
Okay,
smart
so it
TV.
saves you some money.
Yeah.
As long as okay. All right. Cool. So you have some cons.
Does this come with a Roku remote as well?
Yes.
This TV?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
it comes with the Roku Remote as well. So
Hold on. Does that mean there's two remotes?
no, there's just one.
But it has Roku built into that remote?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Roku Remote is literally the same type of remote that you would get if you went and bought the Roku stick.
Right. But I just mean, you know how, like, you have to have the TV remote, and then you have to have the satellite dish remote, and then you can get, usually one of them does both. Like, the satellite dish usually has, like, a TV button,
Right.
so you turn it on. But anyway,
Right. Yeah, it's same
so
thing.
it's all in one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, if you have satellite, you still need your satellite remote, but
Right.
but for the TV itself, you can maneuver through all your shows, all your programs, all your apps, all with just the Roku Remote itself.
Awesome. All right.
Did you already have Roku before, so then now you have
Oh
an
yeah,
extra Roku around?
yeah.
Ooh, that's a good point. Why aren't we getting this extra Roku thing?
You want the old TV that the screen's half?
No,
Well,
no.
not
I want the Roku stick.
Well, then the TV we replaced was a Roku TV as well.
What kind of deal is this? Justin, we just missed out. I knew where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
trying
gonna
to.
say I can bring you the TV if you want. I mean, you guys won't limit to it. Half the if you watch it, like half the screen's a little darker than the other side, but
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't have a TV, so maybe it's better than what I got.
yeah, but you got a projector you're supposed to be testing.
This is true. Good call, Joe. I like the whole supposed to be testing.
Yeah.
Not you are testing, it's supposed to be. Thanks. Now everybody knows I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, you already admitted that.
I know. I'll watch something eventually, and it'll be great.
Yes.
Maybe. All right. Anyway, sorry. So some cons. Whip some cons on
So
us.
cons, honestly, I had no
What?
cons.
Ooh, dangerous grounds here, Justin.
Yes, but to do my due justice, I cannot just give a product a perfect. This product is perfect. There's no flaws.
All right.
So I hit the interwebs.
Oh boy.
And read some reviews, and I found 2 cons that were kind of reoccurring issues on some users with these TVs.
Right.
Was one of them an issue with the HDMI ports?
No, report that one.
Somebody was mad because it doesn't support HDMI 2.1, which you need in order to do like the new Xbox, I guess.
HDMI. I didn't even know they had variable HDMIs.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
See, I wasn't aware of that.
I'm so far behind in my technological savvy.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't aware of people having issues.
I mean, so I assume this is the same. Like some USBs are faster than others.
Yes.
So HDMI speeding up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to push that quality and
Yeah.
the security and all that. So one of the cons that I've seen several people report online is issues with the picture quality. Like if you sit right in front of the TV, it's crisp, it's clear, it's nice. But if you go like sit in a seat that's kind of viewing it from an angle,
Yeah.
off to the side, it's not as bright or as clean.
Isn't that the same with any TV though? I mean, that's inherently.
Yeah, I mean the way our living room's laid out, I'm not where I sit. It's not in front of the TV, and I don't notice any difference.
Yeah. Well, I just mean I think that's a given because if you're no matter what you're looking at, if you're looking at it from the side, you're not going to get the full effect because the light's not shining towards you; it's shining towards the center.
Right.
Anyway.
And the next con, I don't classify this as a con because all of the manufacturers do it.
Right.
But just to do my due justice, people are complaining about the sound quality. It's not great sound. And here's my response to that. Any TV you buy nowadays, the sound's not that great because everybody, biggest majority of people is used to the older floor-style televisions that had that front speaker.
Yeah.
Well, that audio would shoot straight towards you. These flat panel TVs, one, the speakers are smaller. Two, they're in the bottom of the TV. So when they, project the sound, they're shooting the sound straight onto
whatever counter.
Yeah, if they're on a counter, it's shooting straight on the counter. If they're wall mounted, they're just shooting straight to the floor. They're not shooting it at you, so
Right.
the quality is going to be bad.
Proper termination, the entertainment center.
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
So it's an issue with all of them. So I can't ding that.
It's kind of funny though. I mean, if that's an issue, you'd think they'd have like a little scoop or something that turned the sound.
No, that's why they sell sound bars.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the wireless printer. They'll sell you a wireless printer, but if you want a hardwired, it's $10 more for the extra
for the cable. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's your only little con, and it's not really a con.
Right.
Man, this is a tough one. Justin, you want to go first so I don't help you?
I'll say 4 stars.
Okay.
Justin. This is an easy 4.5. And I would almost say borderline 4 3/4. I have a feeling he's not going to give it 5, just because he's stingy with those. So I'm saying it's 4 3/4, 4.5, somewhere right in there.
All right, so you guys ready?
Yep.
So you locked in your votes?
Yes. Final answer.
I'm giving this one the 5-star.
No
Joe
way.
seal of approval.
Joe.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Holy cow, we both got turned
Oh
sideways,
my
Justin.
goodness.
Got-
Yeah, that price is. I mean, that's huge. It's,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I see what you're saying, but I can't believe it's a 5.
Now, okay, so here's the reason.
What if you don't do Roku?
Like the one that Justin read that they complained because
No, I'm just saying that you just don't have Roku, but you want TV. Will you just avoid this altogether? Even though the price is cheap?
No, because at this point, buying a quote-unquote dumb TV is hard to come by.
Well, I mean, don't they have TVs that have still smart TVs, but just not necessarily Roku?
Yeah, they have ones that have Android built in. They have some that have the Fire Stick built in,
Right.
or they're called Fire TVs. So
Yeah.
if
do you think that person's claim is true that you have to have Roku to like operate this TV at all?
You have to have a Roku account.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the setup and activation.
See, that's worth a quarter star in my book.
But
my
that's
book.
with any TV. That's with any of the smart TVs. You have to have an account with any of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You just can't have them?
No.
That's
Because
baloney.
the first thing they do is want an internet connection because we had to replace the TV at our church, and all we could get was a smart TV
Yeah.
for that size. And literally, just as soon as I turned it on, we don't have internet in the church. So I went through the activation and it wouldn't let me go further until I connected it to the internet.
Do you have to use your hotspot?
Yep.
Nah.
And then it would just.
My mom would be proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be
Now-
like, I told you that hotspot would come in handy.
Now, once I got it activated,
Mm-hmm.
I've not needed internet since. But to get to that point where I could actually use it, it required me to connect to the internet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Seems like it could make some people nervous that they're like, well, I don't know if I want Roku for the, maybe they'll do something to make me mad, and I'll say I'm getting rid of my Roku account, and then you have a TV that doesn't work without Roku. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, I mean,
I didn't know that they were this specific. That they're TVs that are.
Well, you don't have
locked
to
in.
have. I mean, once you get it initialized, right, you could switch to something else
well, you use the
and just plug in the dongle or the.
well. Okay,
Stick.
so for example, with the Roku, you can still load Sling and your Fire and Amazon videos and YouTube and all that. You can watch all that on there. It's just the platform to get you to those apps.
Right. So you have to have a Roku account in some manner.
Right, at least to download the apps. And that's basically all it's for, is to download the apps. But then,
5 stars. Joe, that's crazy.
okay, so for the size of it and for the price of it and the quality
Yeah.
that you're getting with it, it was a hard one not to.
I got you. All right, well, there you go, folks. A rare Joe A&M Digital Technology 5-star review.
Yeah, because usually, Dave, you're usually on the spot, and Justin's
Well,
usually pretty close.
I thought about it, but I just kept thinking that the Roku thing, if you weren't a Roku owner, or a Roku user, might deter you. At least
Okay.
a little bit. But,
Okay, well that is a.
but see, you're a Roku guy. I should have factored that in.
yeah, but
I did
that
not.
now that is. See, now this is where I was sitting. It's like, okay, I'm in heaven because
Well, it
it's
is a
just perfect.
5-star for you. Yeah.
But from your guys' standpoint, that makes perfect sense. As okay, if you're not a Roku person, then it would be
But see, you wouldn't buy it if you're not a Roku person.
Right.
So therefore, it's 5
well.
stars.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
At least one person did.
Yeah.
Justin proved that.
Well, that person's a knucklehead. There's gonna be a knucklehead in every group, Joe.
Well, this is
Bloody
true.
brilliant. I mean, you could take the flimsy end of a fishing rod to that person.
Exactly. Hey, Justin,
So
can
their
you get
vote
their
doesn't.
address?
Their vote doesn't count.
Do you use a soundbar?
You have an
with
Apple
this?
thing you can slap on them, Justin?
The Apple
We'll,
fishing
we'll
rod.
track them. No, we'll track them.
On AirTag.
Yeah, we'll just catch them like going in Gomart or something and wear them out and they'll be like, "What I do?"
Yeah, they're having a sale on those tags.
Joe's like, "Hey, just stand still and take it. You deserve this."
Yeah.
4 for $90. They're selling them.
Really?
Amazon tags?
No,
Apple.
Oh, Apple tags.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Huh? Man, these things are gonna be going everywhere.
Yeah. It's stuck all over the place. Do you use a soundbar with your TV?
Yes.
And that solves the.
Of course he
speaker
does.
issue.
He's a tech guy.
Yeah. The soundbar we've had for boy, it's
Yeah,
been several
people
years.
complaining about flat screen not having great sound. It's like you can't. You have to have a speaker at least a little bit.
Yeah, that was
Of a certain
by
size.
design. Yeah, that was by design. That wasn't.
You can't magically fit a big speaker.
I mean, who since 1980 hadn't had some sort of sound system with their TV?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember hooking mine back in the day into my stereo,
Right.
and then you just turn on your stereo and put it on aux, and you really get some sound pumping.
Right.
So yeah. All right. 5-star. Okay. Well, Joe, if anybody has any questions about the Facebook, the Starlink, or Roku, or this new TV deal,
Mhm.
TCL, how do they get a hold of you?
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com. And follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at AM Digital Tech for all that. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We're on all the major platforms, and all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is show 96 in the books. We're closing in on that 100. And we'll be back for that. So make sure you tune in with us. And again, another great review, a 5-star review from Joe, which is super, super rare. So that should tell you something if you're in a look for a new TV. And then, of course, any of your issues you have with technology or whatever, and you need help with that, call Joe and Cena, A&M Digital Technologies. They support all our patch programs behind the scenes. You came in, Joe. We got laptops 5 or 6 years ago, and they're just not cutting the mustard anymore. And you're helping us out with some laptop replacement. You brought in 3 ones today, so that's the kind of stuff that happens here in a small community with a small business. You need help, you call them up, and they start coming up with solutions. So support our local businesses here. A&M Digital Technology with Joe and Cena McDonald. And we'll be back next week for show 97 and more of Justin getting us off the track and out onto the unbeaten trail of news and interesting conversation. So we'll be back, though. But thanks for joining us here, Spencer, West Virginia, in the Patch Studio.